Welcome to Business A-Level class. We have Unit 3 for January 2020. I think this will be the second to the last paper before the exam. The exam is on Thursday.
No, Friday.
On Friday. Okay, on Friday.
Yeah.
So today we have paper 3 for January 2020. The first question, go there.
The margins are very easy.
Yeah, it said using extract A, calculate to 2 decimal places the gross profit margin for Burberry.
It's in the name, gross profit.
Yeah, so gross profit margin, gross profit margin is gross profit divided by revenue multiplied by 100. So we have our gross profit. The gross profit margin, according to the extract, is the gross profit is 1897.4, and the revenue is 2732.8. Then multiply by 100, and that gives us 69.43%. So that's question 1A. We'll move on to question 1B. Question 1B, they said explain one likely difficulty for Burberry when changing its established culture and brand identity. So we talk about brand is simply the unique name of a product. And when we talk about culture, that's the way the company operates over time. So this is about changing. And when there's change, sometimes stakeholders will feel reluctant to accept or to adapt to that change. And that is what we call resistance to change. Yeah. And for him, he wrote about customers' resistance because customers are used to certain product of Burberry. And so changing it might become difficult for Burberry. So here for me, I wrote about 162 years. So for me, I wrote about employees' resistance to change. And I said, the Burberry brand has been established for 162 years. So changing from the iconic pattern to a new stripe may not be accepted by employees, which may reduce employee motivation. And if employee motivation reduces, it reduces productivity, which in turn reduce productivity. I think the point is clear there.
Motivation, productivity. I mean, it's pretty similar.
So when employees' motivation is falling, it affects their productivity. So that's about question 1B. So resistance to change, it's about resistance.
Affect the quality of the product.
Resistance to change from employees. Resistance to change from employees. And this may result in lower productivity, right? Productivity, reduced productivity, lower motivation, right?
Motivation, productivity. Even lowers the quality.
Yes.
Because it's a luxury product. So, and they're known for their quality. So if they affect their qualities, what's his name again? Dunham, right?
Yeah.
If it's the quality of their products affected, it won't be luxury. It will reduce their price.
Yeah. They will not be able to charge premium price anymore.
In fact, in the extract, they even burn their unused inventory
because to maintain the same, exclusivity
and the brand,
as
a luxury fashion.
So we go to 1C now. They said using the data in extract B and C, discuss the importance of a change in the senior leadership for Burberry's success. So we'll go to extract C here. Extract C. So according to extract C, I use part of extract D already too. So let's look at it anyway. According to extract C, the share price, now first, what share price means. The share price is the value of a share on the stock exchange. The value of a share on the stock exchange. That is what the share price is. So according to extract C, share price has fluctuated, as you can see, it's fluctuating over time. So the share price has fluctuated over a period of time between 2017 towards 2018. There was a radical change in the senior leadership at Burberry. That was the point. So the appointment of Gobeti appeared to have an initial positive impact on the share price when it was employed. So the share price increases a bit, yes or no? So it initially has a positive impact on the share price. So the share price fell until Christopher Bailey announced he was leaving when there was a small rise in the share price. Continued to fall until Bailey's final collection shown. So as soon as Christopher Bailey announced he was leaving, there was a small rise in price. After its announcement, there was a small rise in price of share. And as soon as he showed all his collection here, he showed all his collection here.
This is the deepest of the share price.
Then it increases. It started increasing.
Yeah.
So once Bailey departed and Tishke became the CCO in March 2017, right? In March 2018. Once Bailey departed and Tishke became the CCO of the company, the company start making profit again and the value of shares starts increasing. So the company becomes more prospering after that time. I think that point is clear there. So go to question 1D, sorry. So for question 1D, it's about So for question 1, they said, assess the extent to which the external technological environment will help with Burberry's growth in China. When we talk about external technological environment, it's simply talking about the impact of technological change on business operations. And that could be through e-commerce or innovation. I think the point is clear there. So Burberry was one of the first businesses to use digital technology with around 51 million followers globally. They talked about that. Yeah. So Burberry may be able to increase its sales since 80% of online purchases are done on smartphones. According to Extract D, in China, customers can use WeChat to book appointments, which could give Burberry competitive advantage over other luxury clothing businesses that do not have such service. However, a fall in consumer income may negatively affect Burberry if consumers cannot afford the 2,500 coats and the 1,500 handbags.
I thought you said it differently.
Yeah, here you just have to go to Extract.
Market research instead.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw that.
Yeah.
But for me, I quickly just look at the price and feel it's an external factor. Consumer income might fall. Yeah. And if consumer income falls, they might not be able to buy this luxury bag and do you understand? They might not be able to buy the luxury bag and the luxury coat. Yeah. I think the point is clear there. Because you just have to find reasons why they might not want to buy. And political factor might also affect it. Political factor may also affect Burberry. If the government of China restricts foreign businesses operating in China, it's possible. Yeah. That's political factor. Yeah. So this could be the reason why Burberry's may not be able to make.
Pestle analysis.
Yeah, you talk pestle political is part of it. Yeah, it's part of it. You did well there. I think that's clear. So that's question 1D. Now go to 1E. So for question 1E, it's about trade-offs. Are you there?
Yeah, sure.
So question 1E is about trade-offs. They said Extract E outlines Burberry's strategic decision to stop destroying unsold luxury goods and no longer using real form in any of its products. That's ethical stance. So they said, assess the possible trade-offs between profit and ethics from Burberry's strategic decision. First, what is trade-off? Trade-off exists where having more one thing potentially results in having less of another. So you have more of this that makes you to have less of that. Or you think about ethics, then you have less profit. Or you think about profit, you become less ethical. Do you understand? So by not destroying excess stock, Burberry is likely to witness a decline in its profits as the exclusivity of the brand is diminished if products are sold below the market value. So there's a trade-off here. If Burberry stop destroying its unsold stocks, then it's going to lose its exclusivity.
Yeah, I said this, but I said it may give disadvantage.
Yes, I got that. You said it.
Yes. Gucci.
Yeah.
I believe Gucci has an ethical stance for this.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
which may affect its public relations between the customers and the Burberry.
So, well, the point simply is about the decision you are making. Oh, you want more of this. If you want more of this, you get less of that. So that is the trade-offs. And here, the trade-off here is between profit and ethics. So if you want to be ethically inclined,
say something. Is there a benefit if you burn out inventory? Like literally burning out.
Yeah, Burberry's would be able to keep its exclusivity. It will be able to sell at a higher price. So it doesn't want to sell below the market price, because selling below the market price makes Burberry to lose its exclusivity.
Its value.
Yes, so that's the point. So now that it stopped destroying excess stock, Burberry is likely to witness what we call decline in its profit, and that is the trade-off. But it also has an advantage. It has advantages too. So look at what I wrote here. So the first trade-off is you stop destroying your excess. You stopping this. If you stop destroying your excess stock, it simply means you are likely to witness decline in your profits. You destroy your excess stock, you continue to keep your exclusivity, which allows you to make more profit. But when you stop destroying your excesses, it makes you to sell below the market value, and that makes you to lose your exclusivity. So that is the trade-off there. Do you get the point? Some of Burberry's customers may like to purchase clothing with real fur. So many may switch to other luxury clothes designer who still use fur. So another point here is the trade-off here is that Burberry might start losing its customers. Oh, Burberry doesn't want to produce clothes with animal skin. That is the point, right?
Yeah.
So doing this means some customers still want to buy clothes with fur. So which simply means Burberry might lose these customers.
But there's 66%.
We're going to get there.
Okay, yeah.
We're still talking about the trade-offs here. The first trade-off is that profit is going to be lost. The second trade-off is that Burberry is going to lose some of its customers. Yes or no?
Yeah.
However, trade-off may not exist, as profit for Burberry may increase if more customers switch to Burberry due to it being sustainable, being socially responsible. So that is where ethics comes in.
Yeah.
So the trade-off might not even exist if customers start switching to buying Burberry's products, clothes and handbags, because it is socially responsible. That will increase its revenue, automatically increase its profit.
Yeah. But I think it's a luxury brand. I don't think the trade-off may even exist because of it.
Well, some customers, they fancy things that are unique.
Yeah.
Making a cloth with fur, it's unique. You understand?
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so that's the point. Now, many other high-end designers such as Gucci and Stella McCartney have already stopped using fur, which may indicate that there's more demand for clothing which is more ethical. So Gucci has stopped using fur, McCartney has stopped. So which simply means Burberry is on the right path.
Yeah.
Do you get the point here? According to Extract E, 66% of customers are willing to pay more for sustainable goods, which may in turn increase the demand for Burberry's products. Yeah. So Burberry might as well be making profits. And it might also improve Burberry's reputation. Can also talk about that.
Yeah.
I think ethical stance is clear here.
There's so many points I can talk about.
Yes.
Within it.
Yes. So I think ethical stance is clear now.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have there's always going to be trade-off, mostly when it comes to ethical stance and profitability. So, but all in all, sustainable development is important. So social responsibility is important because it gives a business ability to charge even premium price. It allows the business to charge a premium price. It brings about improvement in reputation of the business. It also allows the business to have a competitive advantage. So that is if a business is socially responsible.
Like the other company.
Yes.
Like the other company in the, if I remember, his name is Papa or whatever.
Okay. So go to question. I think these ones are clear now. So go to question 2.
So many points I can bring out.
There are a lot. Yeah, there are lots. There are lots. Trade-off, it's more of this, less of that. Yeah. More of this, less of that. So go to question 2. They said Tata Motors wants to increase the numbers of nano cars sold. It could focus on expanding the dealership network in rural areas or relaunch of the Nano as a premium car. Extract F shows financial and non-financial information for Tata Motors regarding these two options. Using the data in Extract F and appropriate calculations, evaluate which is the best option for Tata's motor. So we have decision 3.
You have to do the calculations first.
Yes. So we have extract F. So first we have to calculate for decision 3. We need to find the estimated value. Do you understand? I did it. So for the estimated value, so it's about the summation of the probability multiplied by the outcome. So expected value. So expected value is the summation of the probability multiplied by outcome. That's expected value. So it's going to be 0.4 multiplied by 7 and 0.6 multiplied by negative 1 million. 0.2 multiplied by 15 million. 0.8 multiplied by negative 2. So before I go into there, I wrote decision 3 shows the possible outcomes of a decision with the estimated probability and expected monetary value of each of these outcomes. So it's about choices that are open to you, what their probabilities are, and the possible outcome in terms of monetary value. That is what decision 3 is about. So according to Extract F, the main issue is that Tata Motors does not have many dealerships in rural areas. According to Extract F, in India, according to Extract F, the main issue is that Tata Motors does not have many dealerships in rural areas of India where most of the potential customers live. Expanding the dealership network is in India into rural areas and increasing the place may mean more people might be able to get access to a dealership and therefore purchase a Nano, further increasing sales. Are you with me, please? So for dealership, it is 0.4 multiplied by 7 plus 0.6 multiplied by negative 1. So that gives us 2.8 multiplied 2.8. That's 2.8 million minus 0.6. So that's 2.2 million. So the dealership, the expected value for dealership is 2.2 million. I think that is clear. So therefore, the dealership should generate an expected value of 2.2 million. That's the analysis there. However, the problem about dealership is that it may take a long time to expand the dealership network because India is a very big country. I think the point is clear there. Yeah. That's about that. So Tata Motors could relaunch the Nano as a premium product through the use of advertisement and promotion. So you want to sell a premium, you want to sell at premium. To relaunch, you have to build your reputation again. So to build your reputation, you might need advertisement and promotions.
Yes, before.
Yeah, you said.
Yeah.
So according to Extract F, the poor image of Nano is why Indian consumers don't want to purchase the car. Yes or no?
Because it's cost effective.
Yeah. So if the Nano was targeted as a premium car through marketing mix price, product, promotion, and the place, it could result in higher sales. So for relaunch, we need to calculate the estimated value for relaunch. So it is 0.2 multiplied by 15.
I did it.
Yeah, you did it. Plus, yeah, it's okay. It's the same. It's 0.8 multiplied by negative 2. So that's 3 million negative minus 0.6, right? No, 3 million minus 1.6 million. And that's around $1.4 million. So the expected value for relaunch is 1.4, which simply means dealership is greater than relaunching.
Yeah, but however, this is.
No, let me finish, please. Okay, so relaunch now. Let me finish. Then you talk. You say what you want to say. Okay, so relaunch is going to give us 1.4 million. So the relaunch option will generate an EV of 1.4 million. So based on decision 3, Tata Motors should opt for the option of dealership as this has more expected value. However, the time it will take to pursue the dealership option may affect the decision. So that's how I concluded. So what do you want to tell me about it?
Yeah.
Tell me, please.
I forgot.
About relaunching. It's about relaunching.
Oh, yeah. I said if it's I think it's riskier, but I think it's better for them just to really risk it.
Well,
plus they're financially unstable.
Yes, yes, you're right.
So taking time with dealerships will just affect them financially either way.
I got your point.
So I think it would be better for them to take a more riskier option than just making a relationship between dealerships.
I got your point, but
also it has a 15 million profit if they take the riskier option.
You're right.
Yeah.
So it depends on which perspective you are looking at. You understand? It's about the perspective you are looking at.
Sure.
You get my point? So I think it's clear. Any question about decision tree?
No.
Good. So we have the last question. This way. Though you did so well anyway. So we have question 3. So we have question 3. They said, evaluate the extent to which succession planning can reduce risk for a business such as Alibaba. So when we talk about succession planning, it's a process for identifying and developing new leaders from existing employees to take over or who can replace existing leaders when they leave. It's a succession planning. And for succession planning, it simply means you are developing or you are identifying an existing employee that will be suitable for the new role of maybe a chief executive officer or a manager as soon as that manager leaves, maybe die or retires. That is succession planning. Do you get succession planning here? Sure. Good. Please don't forget that again anyway. So for succession planning, I think succession planning is understood now. Yeah. I wrote, is a process of identifying and developing new leaders from existing employees who can replace existing leaders when they leave.
Yeah.
So according to extract G, Alibaba and Jack Ma have planned ahead and implemented a succession plan for Jack Ma, who will step down as a chairman in 2019. We talked about that. With succession planning, it means Alibaba may not be affected during the transition period when Jack Ma steps down and the current CEO, Daniel Zhang, takes over. These are the benefits of succession planning. So the transition will not be interrupted because it's already been planned for. Do you get it? And this could also maintain Alibaba's culture. You talked about culture, I like that. This could also maintain Alibaba's culture, which is an important factor when managing change. Because without culture, it might bring about resistance to change. Yeah. The succession planning also meant that risk of operation reduces as there are personnel already in place to run the business. Without succession planning, it might be difficult to carry on consistently with operations.
Which may affect Alibaba's growth.
Good, yeah, that's what I'm saying here. That the succession planning also meant that risk of operations reduces because there's already personnel on the ground to carry on the operations as soon as Jack Ma retires.
Yeah.
However, succession planning relies heavily on nurturing an existing member of the company to become the CEO. It relies heavily on nurturing an existing employee. But not all employees want to become CEOs based on the fact that it is
a ton of responsibility.
Yes, and Alibaba
especially it's a big company as
Alibaba. Yeah. So here I like that. So here I said, however, succession planning relies heavily on nurturing an existing member of the company to become CEO. Not all employees want to take such role, especially a huge business such as Alibaba, like you just mentioned. Though Daniel Zhang is familiar with the culture. He's familiar with the culture because he's an existing employee. Yes or no? It doesn't mean that there will be smooth transition.
I think I mentioned it, I believe, right?
You did, but you didn't go further. According to Extract J, there is some uncertainty with regards to the current China-US trade war.
Yeah.
And which might badly affect the company despite succession planning. So there's succession planning, but there are external factors like the US-China trade war. And this will definitely affect Alibaba.
Which may get a competitive
disadvantage
to other companies like Amazon.
You get.
Yeah.
So, and no amount of succession planning can reduce all the risks a business may face. No amount of succession planning can reduce the risk that are always there for businesses to face. There are other tools such as SWOT analysis, the strength, the weakness, the opportunity, and the threats analysis, which might be useful in reducing risk.
That's the conclusion
for Alibaba. Yeah. So my conclusion is that yes, succession planning is ideal, but a business must also put into place other factors, especially external influences, to reduce the risk of a business when it comes to transition. I think it's clear. So that's about succession planning, and I think succession planning is clear.